And now, here's your host, Jason Hartman, with the complete solution for real estate investors.
So let's stay on the macro for a moment, then I want to get into some of your strategies.
Sure.
But on the macro level right now, we've got, so we have the pandemic. The pandemic, basically, the governments of the world shut down production, in their economies, for an extended period of time. Meanwhile, printing a bunch of money. And I always, what keeps coming to my mind is saying, you can't just shut down production, print a bunch of money, and not have that come home to roost in some way, shape, or form. And now we're seeing pretty bad inflation. We're seeing that the Russia invading Ukraine and that whole scenario and the instability that that's creating. And then I'll tell you what was chilling for me and is kind of relevant to all of this is the trucker strike in Canada, and then the going after their bank accounts.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And then, and people right now are cheering, hey, we got these Russian citizens and we're going to seize their, assets, et cetera. Yeah. And I'm starting to see that, oh, wait a minute. It's like people would cheer that on because if Russia's a bad guy and these people are Russian and they're billionaires, these oligarchs seizing their assets, that isn't that a good thing? And I'm looking saying,
it's pretty scary.
It's a pretty scary thing that people can, without any democratic process whatsoever, just basically through executive edict, say, we're going to seize accounts and assets of people.
And yachts and planes and everything.
And it's like, wait a minute, there should be some sort of due process before you can take that kind of action. But no, I think governments probably behaved this way a lot in secret before.
Sure.
Like, Canada just did, but now it's like right out in front. And in the meantime, censorship and, all the stuff that is coincident with that. The tyrannical things that have occurred, through COVID, as far as the executive powers have been grabbed, saying that we have an emergency, they're not giving back. So how has that impacted your thinking as far as wealth? Now you have to say preservation, right? Yeah. And then is there opportunity in it where we're saying that the instability in the world presents an opportunity to us right now?
I think that everybody has really realized that you cannot trust government, even in the best country. You would think Canada, of all places, would be a pretty meek and mild government. Not at all. We have a tyrant running Canada. I mean, Justin Trudeau is acting like a criminal tyrant, basically. And it is awful what he did and tried to do more. The seizure of the Russian oligarchs' assets, I'm not defending oligarchs, but I am defending due process. Right. And I think it is a very scary precedent. And whenever there is an emergency, it's like, by the way, this quote is wrongly attributed to Rahm Emanuel. It's Winston Churchill who said it. Never let a good crisis go to waste, or something to that effect, right? And so the government is using these opportunities to just push the boundaries more and more and more and just take away more freedoms. I mean, we all remember 9/11, and post 9/11 we had the Patriot Act, and then it became impossible to fly on an airplane pretty much without being felt up, and if you want to get through the airplane line more easily, you have to give your fingerprints to TSA pre. And then, I signed up for Clear the other day. They scanned my irises. I mean, all of us will give in out of convenience at some point. And then combine that with these tech companies, these disgusting big tech companies that are, proxies for the government.
Right.
I mean, look, the government, at least in the United States, thankfully, can't restrict speech because, thank God, we have the First Amendment. But a private tech company can.
That's right.
And when these tech companies become so large and so powerful and so omnipotent that they are the only way to speak to the masses, and we saw during COVID how, remember in the First Amendment, you're supposed to have freedom of assembly.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, right?
Unless it's in a liquor store. You can assemble there.
Exactly.
They're still open.
Yeah, right. And any place where the government can tax you, they're fine with
exactly.
that. Of course,
they can't tax the church, but they can tax the liquor store.
That's right. And they can't tax the people on the street either. Right. But it's unbelievable what passes for truth anymore. It's absolutely appalling.